Hello everyone, welcome back to another Blender video, and today I'm going to be explaining what happened in the last video and why it was so laggy. So let's get started with that. So first of all, I'm going to deselect. If you click your model, you can see that it says, or at least my model, I have more than 2 million vertices, more than 2 million faces, and more than 5 million, I'm pretty sure this is triangles. Now the reason for this is because if you click in modifiers property, I have the subdivision surface modifier. Now if you look at the levels, I set it to 6. If you change it to 5, you can see everything decreases. And if I change it to 3, everything decreases much more. And if I delete the modifier itself, everything is extremely low. And if I click on the rig now, you can see that it's not glitchy anymore and that nothing's lagging. So our problem was that we added the solidify or subdivision surface modifier. And after deleting that, there's actually one thing we can do if you want to make your character smooth for now. So what you can do, you can right click your model and you can click shade smooth. It's not going to smooth it out fully, but it's also going to smooth it out enough so it still looks like a nice model. So like if we go into this view, you can still see it looks like an alien. I think it's good. And one more thing, I did not fully explain the Rigify add-on, so I'm going to quickly do that again. So if you go into your preferences tab and you go into add-ons, you can type in Rigify, and of course you can see here that there's going to be something called rigging Rigify, and you can apply that, and then you can save preferences and exit out of this tab. So now if you go into your add and you go into armature, you have more than just a single bone. You have human meta rig, which is the thing we used. You have animals like birds, cats, horses, sharks, and wolves. You also have basic things like a basic human, which is basically what we did, except it's just less advanced. And we also have the basic quadruped. I don't know what that is, but we might see it later. So that was the Rigify modifier. And now I'm going to show you how to work out all the things here with our rig. So of course you have to click on your rig and go into pose mode. So now as you can see, we have multiple different shapes which we can use for multiple different things. Like this cube here is used to move the waist, I think. So like I can make a really tall alien. This one here is to rotate the shoulders. So I can rotate it like really weirdly. This one on the top is to rotate the head. So I could rotate it to make it look like he's looking backwards. And of course we have much more, like, let's try this. Oh, this is a weird one. This is the position for the leg. And then what else do we have? Do we have like knee joints? We definitely have a lot of stuff. We have a knee joint here. I'm pretty sure you can rotate that. But all things aside, let me reset this. And to reset it, what you can do, you can press A, Alt R, and Alt G, and it's going to reset everything. Or at least reset everything we moved and rotated. If you scaled anything, then it's just Alt S. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to press N on my keyboard, and that's going to pull up this, which gives us more properties for the rig. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go into wireframe mode. And as you can see, there's a red square sort of thing in the hand. We're going to select that and we're going to go out of X-ray mode. What we're going to do, we're going to take the IK stretch here and we're going to change it to 0. Let me show you what happens when we do that. Our hand won't move out even if I pull this out. If our IK stretch was at 1, the arm or the hand would have moved out like that. Yeah. So now what we're going to do, we're going to do this for both hands. So we're going to go into wireframe mode for the other hand. Select this, 0. Oh no, I clicked something else. 0. And let's test it. Yep, it's working. And then we're going to do the same thing for the feet here. So again, let's test it. This is going to go wherever. But if we put it at 0, it's only going to stay where it can go. And then same thing for the one back here. So now that we have that down, we can just animate any pose we want. So, let's think. Let me think of like a famous pose. Oh yeah, so let's say my hand on my head. We can make that. So what we're going to do, I'm going to A, Alt R, and Alt G. And we're going to move everything. So what we're going to do to put this guy's hand on his head, first thing, I want to kind of move the head. So we're going to go into Y and RX, or no, RY. We're going to move his head down. We're going to rotate his head down. We're going to move it down. And let's see, what is this neck follow? Oh yeah, we're going to keep the neck follow the same thing. Or what happens when we put at 1? Yeah, I think just don't change any of the properties. Keep it how it is. Then what is head follow? Oh, it keeps the head the same. Okay, yeah. Don't change any of the properties because we are definitely going to test that later. So once you have your head in a good position, I'm going to go back into wireframe mode and I'm going to select our hand, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to press G and I'm going to press R to rotate and then G again, R, Y, we can move it out. Now it's just a lot of positioning. So we brought it out. And we can G, R, G. So yeah, there is that. And then if you want, of course, you can move the fingers around. I don't suggest that one. But you can move your fingers. And then I'll just move this one like that. And I think that looks good. And now let's just quickly do the hand. Is it this? No, that's not the one. What if I do RZ? Oh, it's still gonna go like that. So I think what we can do is maybe, yeah, I selected the one in there. So I think, let me do that again. So GZ, and then GY. I'm gonna bring this hand in. Now what we can do, let's try like, yeah, it's X. R, and then G. Think a nice position would be to put his hand on his hip. So R, X. So yeah, I think that looks nice. So if you go into, let's remove that and go into object mode. I think that looks pretty nice. And of course we are still going to work a few things out. So like if we go into pose mode again, we can work some things out, like how to do the elbow. I think, yeah, it's just moving this ball here. Then you can move it out. GY, GX, and then GY again. So yeah, I think this is definitely a nice tool to use. Rigify is something I'm going to keep using for future projects, and of course I'm going to make an animation with this alien here. And yeah, so in today's video I showed you that you needed to delete the subdivision surface modifier so it wouldn't lag. I also showed you guys more about Rigify, and I also showed you guys how to make a simple pose. So that's all for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next video.